Today, I'm beginning to document my spiritual journey. So, over the past few months, I've been noticing a lot of synchronicity in my life, especially around numbers. I am seeing repeated numbers like 1111, 444, 777, 555. I see these all the time, multiple times a day. My husband has been as well. I see them everywhere. Clocks, computers, books, written things, addresses, phone numbers, bank cards, etc., prices at the grocery store. Very odd, right? So this is what is called, what I've learned to be angel numbers. Many people experience this all over the world, apparently. And they're said to represent, guidance, messages of hope, transformation, encouragement, you're on the right path, etc. So it really sparked my curiosity into learning more about this. While I was exploring this, I've been coming across different stories about Native American spirituality, including a Hopi prophecy that I learned about. And I'll put links to these other videos where I learned about these things. But the prophecy essentially spoke of a timeline. It covered the first two world wars and two paths, a path towards technology breakthroughs and materialism, and then another path that was a spiritual path. And that eventually a future leader, one with a red cap, which is a whole nother video probably, but this leader would come to, put us back in order, essentially, get us on the right path, a purification of some sort. And it was interesting, especially since I've been seeing videos about this. Another one came up about an interview with a member of the Lakota tribe and the stories of how life began with them. They have this story about a buffalo breathed into essentially a blood clot of blood and water and stuff, and that created their people. And another story about essentially what I take it to be the first god, who was just darkness, I guess. And it was lonely, so it started spinning and spinning, and essentially broke up its body. Its blood and its water became the water and the rocks and the earth of the entire universe. Essentially similar to the Big Bang, right? Like this explosion happened and spread matter and energy across the universe and created everything. And so, more recently, there's been a lot of talk about UFOs, or they call them UAPs now. And these reports have been talking about all sorts of strange craft, right? Even biological things. So there's some descriptions in the reports to U.S. Congress about jellyfish-like beings that move around. And there's some reports from Navy personnel about glowing orbs that move like the surface of the sun and things like that. And it kind of struck me that, well, what if some of those things are like the things from these old stories, right? What if that blood clot mass was similar to some of these UAPs that are people are seeing? Possibly, maybe not. I don't know, but it's an interesting idea. You hear these things about ancient aliens, and everyone thinks it's interesting but kind of silly. But it's hard to ignore that all these cultures across the world had similar stories and shared art when they had no contact with each other, no communication with each other. So all these things are kind of rushing around in my head, ideas, thoughts. And then on November 16th, there was astrological happening, I guess you would call it. We have what they're calling a supermoon. And I saw it in the morning, a little after 7 a.m. It was this gigantic supermoon during daylight, which I thought was very odd, but I guess that happens. And it was just so powerful. It was just immense moon. I could see it in such detail in the sky in the morning. And it just emotionally was, feeling a good feeling, right? Like it was just awe-inspiring. I tried to take pictures of it, but I couldn't. I mean, I don't know how my eyes are better than an iPhone, but they are apparently. So I had that experience, and then during the day, I was just feeling overwhelmed. I couldn't focus on things. There's so much going on in the world, wars and violence, and just people just being awful to each other, right? And it just kind of just had me in this sad state. And I was just feeling really emotional and bad, really. I was like, I gotta get out of this, right? I really gotta get out of this. So what did I do? I have turned to YouTube to distract myself. And 2 videos came up to me. The first one was a woman, and the algorithm pushes these things up to you because of things you've been interacting with. But the woman was talking about a near-death experience. And she was dead for 10 minutes, according to the doctors. And she said she went to heaven and she spoke to angels and spoke to God. She's been seeing angels since she was a child, I guess. Just seems a little far-fetched, right? But to me, the idea that, maybe certain people can see things that others cannot is not 100% unbelievable. I mean, there's, bats can use sonar, but we can't to see things. So, insects see a wide spectrum of visual colors that we cannot see. It's possible maybe she has seen these things and interacted with them. I'm not sure, but it struck me because she spoke about how mankind has not realized that they are a part of God. And it made me reflect on the Native American stories about how everything came from the body, essentially, of that original God. And also through my learnings about yoga and practices with yoga meaning union, that, essentially the highest level of enlightenment, you are one with all things around you. This, really just led me want to explore more. And then a video came up about the supermoon. Yep. The very next video, I didn't click on it or anything. It just started playing, as those things do, about the supermoon that I had seen that very morning, right? And it was a little woo-woo, but it was a story about, this is a time for you, a new beginning for you, a time of growth and transformation and everything. So I listened to it. I was like, just listened. And then I was like, I have to do this meditation, right? So video ended, did the meditation, and a thought came to me when I was asking for, guidance. Why am I here? What is the purpose of this? The thought came to me that I was meant to be a leader of a unit. I don't know why that word specifically, a unit, if it's supposed to be my family or something else, I'm not sure, but it just felt like I can't ignore this anymore, right? These strong messages and feelings just seem to be pushing me to learn and do more. So that's why I'm creating this channel. This is why I'm exploring all these new methods of spirituality, learning more, and I'm going to be sharing it here. One, just so I can document it, because I know when I did that meditation, there were things that I'm just not remembering right now. So I want to document it so I can reflect and not forget these experiences. And then 2, maybe there's other people out in the world that are having these same experiences, just like I learned other people are seeing these angel numbers. And I would love to connect with people like that and hear their thoughts and just maybe learn from each other. So that, if you gained anything from this video or have any stories you would like to share, I would love to hear them.